What's up, my piano friends? Zach Evans here, and today I'm going to show you the best blues left-hand pattern for piano beginners. This thing sounds freaking awesome, but it's actually one of those things that is a lot easier to play than it looks. And best of all, once you learn this one pattern, I'm going to show you some simple variations where you can multiply it into 6 different patterns with very little extra practice on your part. All right, let's get started. All right, so here's how this video is gonna be laid out. Step 1, I'm gonna show you a quick demo so you know exactly what it sounds like. Step 2, I'm gonna show you the exact notes to play. Step 3, I'm gonna show you the accelerated learning techniques, the system and the formula of learning to learn this not only faster, but drill it correctly into your muscle memory. Now, I'm begging you, please don't skip step number 3, because a lot of people learn the notes of a pattern and then they drill it in the incorrect way. They get it sloppy and they have a lot of trouble getting hands together because they never drilled it in correctly. So please, I'm begging you, make sure you at least stick around to step 3. Then step 4, I'm gonna show you those simple variations that we can make on this pattern to multiply it from 1 pattern to 6 patterns with very little extra practice on your part. And lastly, stick around to the end of the video because I have a PDF cheat sheet for you so you don't have to memorize everything in this video, and it's something you can quickly print off and just put right at your piano. All right, so here's a quick demo of the left-hand pattern. I'm gonna add some right-hand improv on top just so you understand what it's gonna sound like in context. Remember, if this looks really hard, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. You'll see once we break it down. All right, now at this point you might be thinking, Zach, you told me this was gonna be the easy beginner piano version. That looked really hard. Well, guess what? Here's why it's easier than it looks. You're actually only learning 4 notes, and let me explain what I mean by this. All right, so we're gonna start with our hand in what I call C position for this video. Now, for this video, C position is gonna be pinky on C, middle finger on E, pointer on G, and thumb on A, these 4 notes. And we're just gonna repeat them over and over. So it's just C, E, G, A. Repeat, C, E, G, A. We're just gonna repeat these 4 notes over and over. That's really the only notes you have to learn. Now let me explain why. You probably noticed in the pattern, I was also playing up here and up here. All this is we're taking this same pattern and shifting it. So imagine we have these 4 notes, our original C position. I turn my hand into a stone so it doesn't move, and I literally pick up my hand and I move it to this F. So my pinky's on F. Now if we play the same shape, it's gonna be F, A, C, and D. But you'll notice this shape is the same as this shape. So we're not really learning any new notes. We're just shifting it up to F position. And later we're also gonna shift it up to G. So put your pinky on G, and we're gonna have G, B, D, E. But this shape is the same as this shape, is the same as this shape. All right, but first we're gonna learn just C position. We're gonna drill this so deep into your muscle memory, you could play it in your freaking sleep, and then only after that, then we'll worry about shifting it to F and G. But let's drill this one in first. All right, so we're gonna drill this pattern in using a couple accelerated learning techniques. Now, these are simply formulas of learning that help you learn stuff faster and also help you drill it deeper into your muscle memory. So once you start getting hands together, it's super solid and you don't have to worry about it so much. All right, so the first technique we're gonna use is called the added note strategy. Now, this is probably the best strategy when you first start learning something new. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take a very small section and then we're gonna gradually and slowly add notes until we have our whole thing. All right, so our whole pattern at the end of this is gonna sound, we're gonna do 2 repetitions of the 4 notes. So it's gonna be 1, 2. So when we start off learning, we're just gonna take 2 notes, C and E. I wanna repeat that 4 times. Now this is gonna seem really easy. C to E, that's 1, C, E, 2, C, E, 3, C, E, 4. Now, when you're doing this is gonna seem almost too easy, and the big mistake beginners make is they think, oh, just do it 4 times. All right, and they do it really sloppily. And that's not what we want to do, because once we start adding notes, it's going to get harder. So we want to make sure these two notes, you're really focusing and playing these notes with precision and with purpose. All right? All right, so the next step, once we have those two notes, we're going to add this G. So now we have three notes. So it's going to be C, G, E. We're going to repeat that 4 times. Then we're going to add another note. So we have C, E, G, A. Repeat that 4 times. Now we're going to add another note. C, E, G, A, C. Repeat that 4 times. Now we're going to add another note. C, E, G, A, C, E. Repeat that 4 times. Add another note. C, E, G, A, C, E, G. Repeat that 4 times. And finally add the last note. So C, E, G, A, C, E, G, A. Now, if you actually do this, and I highly suggest you actually, pause the video and run it through this. Once you run it through this, you will feel it in your bones so much more than if you just sat here and just repeated this over and over sloppily, okay? So that's step 1, add a note strategy. Now I have one more strategy we're gonna use to really solidify it even deeper into your muscle memory. I call this the rhythm strategy. If you've seen any of my other videos, this is probably my favorite one. I use this thing all the time. I use it on scales, I use it on songs, I use it on left-hand patterns. I use it so often because it works so freaking well. All right, so here's how the strategy for the rhythms goes. Step 1, we're just gonna play the normal pattern. This time we're just gonna do one repetition. So it's just gonna be this. C, E, G, A. You're gonna repeat that 4 times. Now step 2, we're gonna use a rhythm, okay? So we're gonna use a rhythm, long, short, long, short, long. Sounds like this. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. You're gonna repeat that 4 times. Now the next rhythm is simply the reverse of the first rhythm. So it's short, long, short, long, short, long. It's gonna sound like this. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. You're gonna repeat that 4 times. The next rhythm is a triplet rhythm. It's gonna be long, short, 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 long, short, short, short. It's gonna sound like this. Long, short, 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 long, short, short, short. And the last rhythm is gonna be this. Short, 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 long, short, 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 long. Sounds like this. Short, 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 long, short, 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 long. You repeat that 4 times, and finally you go back to the original normal rhythm and do it 4 times. So just the normal rhythm and do that 4 times. Now, if you really want to memorize and ingrain these learning patterns into your system, what I highly suggest you do right now is go to the comments and summarize one of the things, right? Either the added note or the rhythm strategy. Go to the comments and just summarize exactly how to do it. That way you're gonna really drill it into your brain. And so many studies show that if you write something in your own words, you're gonna remember it so much more than if you just passively listen to this video. So if you wanna get the most out of this video and really learn and retain all the information, go to the comments now and summarize one of those patterns. All right, so now that we have it down pat in C position, now we're gonna talk about the whole progression and how to move it around to F and G. Now, since you learned it so well in C position, you actually don't have to practice it in F position or in G position because it's the same muscle memory, it's the same notes. Now, if you wanted to, you could run the added note and the rhythm strategy in F position and G position, but you really don't have to since it's the same muscle memory. All right, so the full 12-bar blues progression just goes like this. It goes C 4 times, then F 2 times, C 2 times, G 1 time, F 1 time, and C 2 times to finish it off. Now this will all be right there for you in the cheat sheet at the end of this video. I'll show you where to get that download. All right, well, for now we're just gonna go over it. So look at the screen, and you can see we can play C 4 times. So it's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're gonna play F 4 times. 1, or 2 times, sorry, 2. And back to C, 1, 2. Now G once, G, F once, F, and C 2 times, C, C. So all you have to do is follow the pattern on the cheat sheet to get this whole thing. Now, we also have some strategies on moving from C position to F position and G position, because a lot of times beginners, what they do is they watch these YouTube videos and the YouTube teacher tells you all the notes, and then they have a lot of trouble shifting between the notes because the teacher never taught them how to learn the shifts. Now, this is very important because if you don't learn the correct technique and the correct way to do it, you're going to be spinning your wheels, it's going to be sloppy, and you're never going to get hands together. So a lot of people get frustrated with this. But we have 3 strategies for getting these jumps down pat. Now, the first strategy is called the pause method. So basically the concept is we want to work on speed because we have to shift relatively fast to move to this F chord quickly, but at the same time, we don't want to drill it in sloppily. So how we do this is we first play the C notes, then we pause, and then we shift to the F. We make sure that we're looking at all these notes and am I on the right notes? And then we play the F4 notes. We pause, we shift, and then we find the C notes, and then we play the C notes. And what the pause allows us to do is make sure we're always playing with accuracy so we're not drilling in bad habits. We're drilling in the correct notes and the correct muscle memory every time. Because every time you drill in the incorrect muscle memory, you're learning it wrong and you're making it harder on yourself. You're actually getting a little bit worse at piano every time you're practicing it wrong. Now, as we get better at this, we want to start working on a fast shift. Okay, so the actual speed that your hand moves is faster, but you still pause before you play it to maintain accuracy. So you do, and just quickly shift your hand. By the way, I know I'm making the sound with my mouth. For some reason, this actually helps me move my hand faster. I know that sounds crazy, but give it a shot sometimes doing this and then makes it seem faster. All right, so that's the first strategy, the pause method. You can use it going from C to F. You can also use it going from C to this G, and then alternate between C and G. All right, so the second strategy we're gonna use is what we call the jellyfish method. Now, the jellyfish, if you've ever seen a jellyfish swim, it kind of goes out and then in, and then out, in, out, in. And we use this whenever we're moving this way on the piano, up on the keyboard. So for example, if I'm playing my C position and I have to move up to this F position, the jellyfish method would be a great place to use this. So how this works is we play our C position, and then as we're playing this A, we jellyfish our hand in so that our pinky is right ready to play this F by the time I'm lifting up this A. And it helps make the transition a lot easier. So how we're gonna practice this is we're actually gonna use, it's gonna be very similar to the added note. So first, we're just gonna practice the jellyfish movement. So you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, jellyfish. And your pinky should be touching this F. Don't even play it, just touch it. 1, 2, 3, jellyfish. And practice that, you know, for this one might have to practice more than 4 times. You might have to go 8, 12, 16 times. Then we're gonna add a note. So 1, 2, 3, jellyfish, F. We're gonna do that, 4 to 8 times. 1, 2, 3, jellyfish, F. Then we're gonna add another note. 1, 2, 3, jellyfish, F, A. And then we're gonna add another note. 1, 2, 3, jellyfish, F, A, C. Practice that a few times. 1, 2, 3, jellyfish, F, A, C, D. All right, I hope you understand the pattern now and why we learned the added note strategy and how we can even use it for other things, okay? So that's the next strategy. Now we got the pause strategy and the jellyfish strategy. And remember, for both of these, we can do this between C and F and also between C and G position, right? We can do the jellyfish again for G, but our pinky is just lined up over this G. All right, now the final strategy we're gonna use is called the short note strategy. Now what this is when we're moving the opposite direction, down on the keyboard, we play the last note short to give us more time to move down. So for example, if we're in F position, and we need to move down to C position. That's kind of a far jump. We need more time to get there. So what we're gonna do is play this top note short. So it's gonna look like this. 1, 2, 3, short, C. And just like the last one, we're gonna use the added note strategy, a similar thing to the added note strategy to learn this. So first, all we're gonna do is 1, 2, 3, short, and you're simply gonna jump your hand so your pinky is touching the C. Don't even play it. 1, 2, 3, jump. And do that, 4 to 8 times, maybe even more than that. And also one thing for this, I almost feel like I use my thumb as kind of like a trampoline to help, like not a ton, like I'm pushing, but you kind of like spring off your thumb to move faster down to this C. So it's 1, 2, 3, and you kind of spring and move down to the C. All right, now we're gonna add a note. So 1, 2, 3, short, C. 1, 2, 3, short, C. And then we're gonna add another note. 1, 2, 3, short, C, E. Practice that a few times, and then add another note. 1, 2, 3, short, C, E, G. And then add one final note. 1, 2, 3, short, C, E, G, A. All right, so those are the 3 ways to work on moving between these different positions. We have the pause method, we have the jellyfish method, and we have the short note method. All right, now is on to the fun part, right? You've done the heavy lifting, you've done the work of getting this left hand pattern, the basic part down. Now we can add some simple variations to turn this one pattern into a toolbox of 6 different left hand patterns that you can pull out whenever you need them. And it doesn't take much, if any, extra practice time to learn these. All right, so our normal pattern is simply this. Our first variation is gonna be called swing feel. And this is where we play the same pattern using the rhythm, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And guess what? We kind of already practiced this when we did the rhythms, but now we can play this over the entire progression. So it sounds like this. And you probably heard this before. It's a very common pattern. And you can play it over the entire 12-bar blues progression. All right, the next pattern is gonna be called double swing feel. And it's the exact same thing as swing feel, but you just play 2 notes at a time. Here's what I mean. So you'd play C twice, E twice, G twice, and then A twice. So it sounds like this. And you simply play that throughout the entire progression. All right, the next extension is the next variation, I should say, is a little more challenging. We're gonna add a note, this B flat, to the top. So here's what it's gonna look like when it's done. So all it is, the first 4 notes are the same. And then you simply reach with your pointer finger and hit this B flat, and then come back down. So, now the key and the trick to this one is when you play this B flat, you want to keep your thumb anchored over this A. You don't want to do this, play this B flat and have your thumb move, because then you're gonna get out of C position and you're gonna have to find your way back to C position. So you want to kind of think of this B flat just like an extra note. You're not changing positions, you're just kind of reaching with your pointer finger to play that B flat so you're right in position to go back down to your normal C position. And you can play the entire blues progression like this. All right, so now we have 4 patterns. Now the next variation is simply this B flat pattern, but guess what? We're gonna do swing feel. So we're gonna do long, short, long, short, long. It sounds like this. So same notes, simply a different rhythm. And the last one is, you guessed it, double swing with the B flat. So now it's just gonna sound like this. Same notes, you just play them twice. All right, so let's recap your toolbox now. Now you have a toolbox of 6 different patterns you can use. You have normal, you have swing feel, a little more relaxed of a feel. Then you have double swing. Then you have the B flat variation. Then you have B flat with a swing. By the way, these are all on the cheat sheet also. And then you have the double swing B flat. Boom, now you have 6 different variations to work with. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how to get the free cheat sheet and the bonuses to this lesson. So there's gonna be a link somewhere on the screen and in the description of this video. I want you right now to click that link. It's gonna take you to this page, the blues cheat sheet, plus bonuses. And the bonus, you also get access to the free Piano Superhuman course. So enter your first name and email address, hit get my bonuses, and it's gonna take you to this page, the best blues left-hand pattern resources page. Here is the PDF cheat sheet, blues left-hand cheat sheet. If you look, it has C position, F position, G position, the exact notes. It has a progression underneath. And then underneath that, you have all your accelerated learning techniques. Those are on page 2. There's also going to be a lesson on getting the right hand. And the right hand, improvising over this progression. There's this very similar thing we're going to do where we're going to use very progressive steps, just like we use the accelerated learning techniques. There's similar things to get the right hand to work with the left hand when you're improvising. There's also going to be some other helpful lessons links, you know, if you have trouble getting hands together coordination, if you want to get technique mastery, or if you want to learn my secret sauce left-hand pattern, which is kind of a pop left-hand pattern that I use all the time. And you will get emailed with your login info for the free Become a Piano Superhuman course as well. All right, one last thing before you go. I've always thought it'd be fun to see, okay, who are the people who are actually dedicated enough to stick around to the end of the video, who actually have the persistence and the drive. So if you're someone who's still here, go down to the comments and just type in the name of like your favorite superhero. And that way I can see, oh, this person is someone who actually has, you know, commitment and dedication and really stuck around to the end of the video. Also, I think it'd be kind of funny for the people that don't stick around to the end of the video. They look in the comments and there's just all these like superhero names and they're like, why are there all these superheroes down below in the comments? Anyway, I thought it'd be funny, so go ahead and leave a comment. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications every time I upload a new video like this so you don't miss out on any cool piano videos. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Peace out and happy practicing.